Then I get a frog for that. I must ask that you not breathe a word of this to any of the others at the Rising Stones, especially Falaman. I will brief the tower on what we have learned, as well as Urianger. You may have insight into what the ward told us. As for you, Ceres, after all you have done, I would say you have earned a rest. But speaking of well-earned rewards, I received a missive from Sir Emmerich while you were away. It would seem he is planning a ceremony of some sort. I would like for you to attend. He did not divulge the details, preferring instead to explain in person. I hope you should pay him a visit. What's what Toya's gotta say? It's a blessed few who get to choose how and when and for what they die. Not that you need reminding, I suppose, but that boy. For all the suffering he has known, he still clings to the notion that there is a cosmic justice. Morality by which we are saved or condemned. There isn't. Goddamn. Well, we weren't to get Minfilia back. Well, this in some way she does come back, but I don't know. Yep. Hello, Emmerich.
A pleasure to see you again, my friend. I take it you received our invitation.
Yeah.
Good, good. You of all people should be present. When the true brothers of the faith seized control of the vault, I feared the worst. Yet in adversity were we blessed with the promise of peace between, needless to say,
Damn it.
could scarce let such an opportunity pass us by. Which is why I set about making formal arrangements for a peace conference between our peoples. You and yours have done more to bring us together than any, and it is only right that you attend. But I confess that is not the only reason I would be glad to have you there. Given Nidhogg's implacable opposition to the peace, it is possible that he and his followers may attempt to disrupt proceedings, in which event, your presence would be a comfort to all in attendance. Pray understand, I have no wish to invite the worm's ire, but if our fractured nation is to heal, if we are to move forward as a people united, then we must do whatever is necessary to bring about lasting change.
You okay, Doc?
Tis nothing. Tis nothing. Lucia cautioned me against giving vent to my passions, lest my wounds reopen. It has not been easy reaching out to our opponents in Ishgard, many of whom sympathized with the actions of the true brothers. But in so doing, we have limited the influence of the zealots. The people are ready, my friend. This conference must go ahead. I knew you would understand. The conference will take place on the border of Ishgardian and Dravanian territory in Falcon's Nest. Lucia is there seeing to the final preparations even as we speak. Pray join her at your earliest convenience. 'Twould not do for the guest of honor to arrive late, after all.
Ooh, fast.
Oh, and one more thing. A drink. We should make time for one. Once the conference is concluded, I mean. By my reckoning, 'tis long overdue.
Oh, oh, that doesn't sound like a death flag. Wow. What's here? Lord Commander City, welcome, service. As you can see, preparations for the conference are proceeding apace. Mark well the curtain above. It conceals a relief that will be unveiled during the conference. The Masons labor day and night to see it finished on schedule. Sir Emmerich wanted a symbol which would endure long after this conference is concluded. I think he'll be pleased with the result. It was not my war, but I made it mine, and to see it draw closer to a resolution fills me with a strange hope. His faith is infectious, is it not? Certainty that we can be better than we are. Forgive me, I am rambling. You must be tired from your journey. Go, rest. I will not keep you. If you would rather not take a rest, then why not take a walk around Falcon's Nest? Make your presence known to the people and so forth. In addition to those who have come from afar and wide to attend this ceremony, you may meet Lords Artorial and Emanuelaine, who have graciously volunteered their services. They should be glad to see you now. If you would excuse me, I must needs return to my duties. Redwald. I'm glad to see that the rumors were true. Well met, Mrs. Shavine, and fear not. I have no intention of begging your aid with this or that. Everything appears to be in order. My only lingering concern is that one of the convictors might not have been informed of our plans. So recall, Vidofnir may pass directly over their encampment. Last thing we need is a glory-seeking nobleman attempting to slay a Dravidian ambassador to a peace conference. Who is this? Oh my god. Ninja. Is that a ninja? Pretty sure it's a ninja. Do you know when everything's set to begin? I wasn't sure how many might come, so I thought it best to come early and find a spot with a great view. When I heard that Sir Emmerich was planning to make a speech, I knew I couldn't miss it. I mean, the man risked his own neck to rescue those hostages. How often do we get heroes like that in this day and age? He's more than a fighter too. He's a thinker, he is. He's got plans to better our lives, to change things, and he'll do it by the fury. Me and my friends and family, we all believe he can do it. Oh, another death flag. Bloody exciting, isn't it? Not just peace with the dragons, but with all of them heretics besides. Don't misunderstand, we all got a healthy fear of being bathed in dragon fire. That being said, the heretics did far more to hinder our efforts here in the past. The hearing that we're close to a reconciliation comes as a great relief. How much has changed since we fought alongside each other in the vault? If you had told me then that we would soon be hosting a peace conference, I would have thought you a naive fool. Yet here we are, preparing to make that fantasy a reality. Ah, and here I am, laboring to make it so. Lord Artorial, if I may. Certainly, First Commander. How may I be of service? Some of the convictors are refusing to stand down. The majority were willing to do so, but a small party are instead pledged to engage any Dravidians bound for Falcon's Nest. Fury take me. They would defy Sir Emmerich's commands if they dare attack Vidofnir. It will not come to that, but to see that it does not, he needs hasten to their encampment. They should be far more reluctant to oppose us were a Lord of House Forton present. I understand completely. Let us depart at once. But ere we do, I must ask, would you look after Emmanuel while I am away? As you know, he has ever been an impulsive, changeable child, but recently he seems to have been suffering from a bout of melancholy. I thought to lift his spirits by having him assist with guard duty, a simple but honorable charge, unlikely to expose him to danger given the presence of so many other knights. Alas, he has taken no interest, and I fear he may abandon his post in my absence. All I ask is that you keep an eye on him until I return, exhausting though that may be. Thank you, my friend. I promise we will not be long. Hey. Madeleine, how's it going? Rather busy at the moment, old girl. I'm guarding this tavern, as it were. Oh, I see now. Arturo thought I might be derelict in my duties, eh? The nerve of my brother to question my dedication. But since you are here, mayhap I can put you to proper use. The wasteland beyond the walls was kept safe for travelers. Yet I have been forbidden from leaving Falcon's Nest. It wouldn't do for our esteemed guests to be devoured by wolves. Oh no, yet that is precisely what will happen if we do not cull the roaming packs. Your map, if I may? Right there. Those are the points our scouts marked for patrol. I'll leave you to it, old girl. Come, overrode it. I must return to my rounds. Oh dear, do be careful, my lady. Be careful, alright. Right here, right? Ooh, that was juicy. Goodbye. Oh, that did 1,666 damage. Jesus Christ. Oh. Hopefully Emmanuel is still here. Looks like he is. Sarah Serene, Wolf's Bane, it pleases me to inform you that I have completed my rounds and that all is well in Falcon's Nest. Oh, and there was a grizzled fellow looking for you. You know, the one who made that arsonist confess? Clever that. Tancred, was it? He was asking after you. Anyway, once I noticed the garish weapons he was sporting, I deemed it a waste to leave him be. I dispatched him to an area I neglected to mark on your map. It's this one. If you hurry, he might still be there. Damn it. Can't just tell him to wait for me there. Sounds really far. Why'd the music just stop? There you go. Fancy meeting you here, Ceres. It was fortunate I came when I did. These two would not have fared well against the wolves on their own. The young lord wasted no time taking advantage of you, did he? And me, I suppose. Let us return to Falcon's Nest then, and see what other thrilling tasks he may have for us. Yes, let's see. Look at that dragon. And there they are, a pair of gallant heroes if I ever saw them. Comrades in arms, reunited at last. By your selfless sacrifice, have you guaranteed the safety of our many guests. On behalf of Ishgard, I thank you both. And with that, there is not left to do but enjoy our well-earned respite. Our well-earned respite, right? Oh, and this should of course go without saying, but let's keep those last few favors between us, yes? Our Torah wouldn't understand. Right then, the first floor of those barracks has been converted into a tavern for the duration of the conference. Why don't you go and have something to eat? For once, a suggestion which with which I agree. Go on ahead, sirs, I will join you on. Why is that guy on the fucking floor?
Welcome, welcome. Find yourself an empty seat and I'll be with you in a moment. Cold out, isn't it? Here, a mug on the house. Let's get some colour back in them cheeks.
That's a big fucking cup. God damn.
Afraid food will be a bit longer than usual. We've got a lot of hungry folk to feed, what with the conference and all. Oh, so many people with cause to celebrate. To think there could be peace in our time, after all them years of fighting. When I heard about the conference, I knew I had to come. I knew I had to be here, to do my bit. My husband, he died fighting the dragons, you see. And here we are, about to break bread with him.
Oh, did I get fucking drugged? This bitch.
You were right, mother. You look tired. Reckon you could do with a good long rest? After all you've done, I'd say you've earned it.
Yeah, but didn't expect Thinker to be here. Luckily, he came without telling anyone.
Sleep now. Sleep. Sleep and leave us to our affairs. This was never your fight.
My son. They told me he walks in Halone's halls. Him and the rest of his unit.
They told me the same.
I expect they think it's comforting. Every time I come, I cry. I cannot bear to remember, but to forget would be 1,000 times worse. Yet that is what they would have us do. Accept this truth for the sake of peace. Bury the past and look to the future. But he was my future. My flesh and blood. My heart.
Is this it? We're the only ones with the courage to oppose this madness? Cowards, a lot of them.
They think only of the prize, of the peace Sir Emmerich promises them. They know in their hearts it's a lie, but they go along with it anyway, desperate fools. But not I. Not I! I see the worm that killed my brother in my dreams every night, and I will not rest until he lies broken at my feet. Him and every last one of his accursed kin.
All this nonsense about Kings of Eld, as if I care what they did or didn't do, makes no difference to me and mine. Have the dragons sued for peace in 1,000 years? Are they bollocks? It's a bloody ruse is what it is, and Sir Emmerich and the rest of them bloody fallen for it.
But what can we do? They believe, and naught we can say will ever change their minds. Whether we like it or not, man and dragon will come together at Vulcan's Nest, and all will be forgiven. Forgiven and forgotten.
No. I will not let that happen. They will remember the true face of the enemy. I will show it to them. And we will rise up against them once more.
Hey! Hey! This is no time for napping.
Ingrid.
Do you have your wits about you? Good. Come with me. We have a crisis on our hands.
Hear me, brothers and sisters. Do not be fooled by the honeyed words of the Dravarnians. The peace they promise is but a prelude to slaughter. Remember your husbands and wives never returned from war. Your children torn apart by fang and claw. All your loved ones shown no mercy. Does not your heart cry out for vengeance? Your blood boil at the injustice? Remember the face of your enemy, brothers and sisters. Remember it, and strike back!
You there! Don't just stand around gawping! Do something, man! Stop her!
Yes, my lord.
I don't think you should have shot her.
See? See here the true nature of the Highborn. With lies and deception they lead us to our doom. And dare we raise our voices in dissent?
Death is our reward. This is the choice they have given us, brothers and sisters. Death by dragon's fang, or death by nobleman's command. Death to all we hold dear.
Okay, never mind. You should have gone for the head.
Spit on your choices, noblemen. You will take no more from me. No more. No more.
What have you done? I only did as you ordered, my lord.
He didn't say to shoot her.
I gave no such order. I did not. I never meant for anyone.
Oh no. To be fair, she deserved it. They're saying that could not have played out any worse. Given that the first commander and Lord Arturo are not here to take control of the situation, I spoke with a messenger who said they would be returning shortly, but until they do, naught will be done. Lord Emmanuel has retreated to the barracks and is refusing to speak to anyone. Therefore, it falls to us to ensure that order has been fully restored. Come, let us walk the streets and speak with the people. Up there. I'd heard the rumors that the young lord was a drunken fool. What imbecile thought it would be a good idea to let him have a run of Falcon's Nest? All I say, him and Sir Emmerich take their bloody change and shove it up their arses. I'll not be taken in by that rot again. They were wrong to resort to violence, but when I heard her speak, her words were as a dagger in my heart. Who are we to decide that enough is enough, that their calls for justice can never be answered? Will this be the end of it, or will there be others like them and the true brothers? I do not want to bear steel against my kinsmen ever again. I don't know if I even can. My wife and I fell while fleeing with the others at first. The chirurgeons tended to our bruises afterwards. Those mad fools have ruined everything. And for what? Well, what say you? So the violence has passed, but the people are far from recovered. That is to be expected. For the moment, it appears that no innocents were harmed by the guards. A blame for all casualties can be placed squarely upon the protest. Nevertheless, the people will not soon forget the image of a young lordling ordering the public execution of an unarmed protester, one whose words resonated with the hearts of many. After all, who among us has not lost loved ones? Lord Arturo and the first commander should have returned by now. To the tavern then. Their first order of business will be to speak with Lord Emmanuel. I somehow doubt that he has moved in Ilm since we last saw him. To be fair, he said stop her, not kill her. Could have walked up the steps, somebody walked there, tried to stop her. My apologies, Sarahs. I bear full responsibility for this debacle. There will be time for that later. I, for one, am more concerned about picking up the pieces. What do we know? According to initial reports, the protest was orchestrated by the young woman whom Lord Emmanuel ordered shot. She and her conspirators infiltrated Falcon's Nest, posing as servants and guests. Several were taken alive, others resisted and were struck down. Still, others took their own lives. Our forces suffered casualties as well, but by the grace of the Fury, no civilians were seriously injured. Still more remarkably, the ringleader yet lives, for the time being at least. The chirurgeons are doing what they can for her, but she may not live through the night. Given their impeccable timing, it is like that the convictors who drew us away from the hamlet were in league with the protesters. Accordingly, we have detained them for questioning. I'll be sworn that these villains spent as much effort planning the failure of this peace conference as we did its success. If the mood of the hamlet is any indication, theirs have been more fruitful labors. In the wake of the protests, the people seem disillusioned. You spoke with them then? I see. Sir Emmerich placed his trust in me. It'll be difficult to explain what has happened here. Remember how far we have come, First Commander. The people's faith may be shaken, but we've convinced them before, and we will do so again. If we can find a means to remind them, to show them once more the promise that change holds for all, then this tragedy too shall pass into the past. We must pray that you are right. Nevertheless, for the time being, I have no choice but to suspend the peace conference, pending Sir Emmerich's final decision. Under the circumstances, I cannot leave Falcon's Nest. Darius, will you deliver my report to the Lord Commander in my stead? Get up, Emmeline. You're going with her. Go on without me. I was not asking. You will answer for your actions in person. Is that clear? Yes, my lord. Come, Honorat. Your manservant is not here. In fact, I have not seen him for some time. Honorat? Honorat? I could have sworn he was... Something's up. On the ground? Oh, he's still alive.
Onawa!
On a raw.
No, no! What have they done to you? Onawa! Onawa!
Is that you, my lord? You seem rather flustered.
Because of you, you imbecile! What in the seven hells happened to you?
My apologies. Some few of the guests expressed a wish to leave, and I implored them to stay. It would seem they took issue with my request.
Oh, gods forgive me. If I had only been more careful with my words.
Do not blame yourself, my lord. I know that you and your brother have Ishgard's best interests at heart. That poor woman. She lives in the past, clinging to the memories of the lost. But the future holds so much promise, so much joy. And you know that better than any.
Onawa?
Calm yourself. The boy will live. But it's imperative we get him inside and into the care of a Kairoujian without delay.
Oh, we were so close! Why does it all have to fall to pieces? Don't they want to live in peace? Don't they want to be happy? We all want the same thing! And still it falls to pieces! Tell me, what was I supposed to do? Someone, anyone, tell me, what was I supposed to do?
Stop looking to others. You make your choice and you live with the consequences.
And what would you know about consequences? You who always know just what to say and just what to do. Your every deed is greeted with a round of applause.
Oh, damn.
You know nothing about me. I have fought tooth and nail for the people I hold dear. Done everything in my power to save them. And I have failed. Learn to live with it. I have.
God damn. I'll take him to the convergence. It is the least I can do. Pick this up too. Hold on. I may have overreacted, but it needed to be done. It was becoming hysterical. I understand the desire to look for reasons, for excuses. Convince yourself you had no choice. But the past is the past, and there is not to be gained from reliving your mistakes. I know this. But he... I have no desire to wait for the lordling to emerge from his puddle of self-pity. We have important matters to attend to in Ishgard. Oh, we gotta tell Emmerich what happened.
Ow.
Or expected, miss. Proceed. We received troubling reports from Falcon's Nest. Hope they fail you there. Word of the demonstration and its resolution outstripped you, Saras. Every man, woman, and child of Ishgard has heard of the tale. It is rumored that my youngest lack of judgment was to blame. Of course, such stories are prone to exaggeration. What exactly came to pass? See, so that is the truth of it. Regardless of his intent, the result is undeniable. He has furthered the cause of these misguided few who cannot let go of the past. In an instant, the delicate peace we were poised to forge is once more beyond us. To dwell so deeply on the war and the vengeance it begets, only for that too to be taken away. Is it any wonder that they were left bereft? For what was this sacrifice? Have we not to show for our suffering? I thought peace is sufficient salve, but mayhap I was mistaken. We are warriors, Lord Edmund, and ours is a nation built on centuries of warfare. Right or wrong, this is who we are, and we deny it at our peril. Hold on to the past without being beholden to it. Aye, we must needs find a way to honor the sacrifice of our forefathers without glorifying in their excesses. A difficult path, to be sure. We dare not deny the scars which mar our nation's soul, lest we spur our disillusioned souls to retrace them. But, as you say, we dare not revel in past glories either, for they are tainted all. A clear, unambiguous enemy and an undeniably righteous cause. Is a bitter reflection, but lies though they did long serve to unite us. No truth will ever serve as well, I fear. Yet, we are not without options. At our last meeting, a proposal was tabled by the other members of the Orisian Alliance for joint military exercises to strengthen the ties between our nations and test our readiness to meet with a common threat. I had thought to delay these exercises until after the peace conference, but mayhap a grand melee would be just the thing to lift our beleaguered spirits. Better still, an occasion for the Temple Knights and the Watch to take the field as allies. A unified Ishgardian force filled with men and women from all walks of life, which would stand against a coalition of the allied nations' finest. Hosted by Ishgard in the shadow of the Gates of Judgment, a victory under such circumstances would serve as a reaffirmation, nay, a declaration to all and sundry that we are as strong and united as ever. Such a victory would do much to fan the flames of patriotism, it is true, but if we should be defeated, though even to hold our own against the cream of 3 nations might be presented as a triumph. Very well, you may count on my support. For what little it is worth, however, I have a request. I would have my son Emmanuel take part in the grand melee. By his deeds has he brought shame upon Ishgard, and so by his deeds I would have him bring our nation honor. As you wish, my lord. If that is his desire, then it shall be so. Now then, we have no time to lose, Ceres. Would you be so kind as to deliver my instructions to Lucia? I shall write to the Alliance leaders at once and begin making arrangements for the grand melee. Should you chance to see my son, pray inform him of his duty. If he has not already returned, he will soon enough, making every effort to avoid me. Ingrid. So that is their solution, a grand melee to unite the people. What part would they have you play in this affair, I wonder? You whom they have taken into their confidence, upon whom they can come so heavily to rely. Will you oblige them? When the proposition is made, will you stand for Ishgard once more? I will stand for my friends and comrades of the nation. Poor choice of words for friends tried and true then. For friends tried and true then, the living and the lost. So for this grand melee of his, Sir Emmerich wishes to field a force comprising both his Temple Knights and Hilda's Watch, yes? Only imagine what she will have to say about that. In fact, curiosity compels me to go and see for myself. I think you just want a reason to go see Hilda. Well met, sirs. Have you spoken with Sir Emmerich? That I have. I was aware of the Alliance's request, though Sir Emmerich would turn these exercises into a spectacle for the masses. It is not that I doubt the efficacy of such a plan. Indeed, I know its effectiveness only too well, having witnessed it firsthand. Nevertheless, he has not once given me reason to doubt his intentions, and these are desperate times indeed. I will select knights for the event forthwith. As for the watch, did he know? How considerate of Master Thancred to seek out our young watch commander of his own volition. Alas, he acted prematurely. Pray deliver this list of watch candidates to Hilda, who would have her best man, not her most dispensable. Righty then. Hello. Thank you for telling me all about Sir Emmerich's grand soiree. Seems we're expected to join in. Nice of him to invite us and all, but I hope he knows what he's doing, cause we ain't dressed to dance with professional bleeding soldiers. Well, seems the first commander's gone and handpicked her guests. Can't say I disagree with her choices though, she's got a good eye. Will you be fighting too? Reckon it'd inspire the lads if you were. Might take their mind off getting their hides tanned and all. Think about it, eh? I hate to ask, but you haven't seen her favorite lordling, have you? I thought not. On the assumption that he is not to be found in his father's loving embrace, I suggest we split up and look for him. I will search foundation and hew the pillars. I'll head on to the pillars then. Yeah. He was here last time too. Oh, Manor Lane. I carried on right to the manor. Our best Kyrians are turning to him as we speak. He has yet to wake, but surely he will. So father has volunteered me for this grand melee of theirs? My beloved family, always making my decisions for me. No, it's not like that. It's just, well, you wouldn't understand. How could you? You're free to be the woman you want to be. Or as I am a son of House Fortom, don't you see? My future was determined before I was born. What I could and could not do. Right or wrong, that was the way of it, until the old order began to crumble. Now we wander amidst the rubble, searching for a purpose, for a place. All around me, brave men and women rise to the occasion. With faith and conviction, they dedicate themselves to their cause. But not I. I was terrified of making the wrong choice, which is why I let better men make them for me. Do this, do that, take this duty, guard this conference. I suppose I had convinced myself I was above it, until your friend showed me otherwise. When I saw Onawa, I wanted to scream. I wanted someone to blame. But in the end, there was only me. Only me. So you see, I cannot meekly bow my head and accept father's command. Such cowardice is what brought me to this point. I'll go to Sir Emmerich and I will make my own decision. Growing up a bit. Bunny. Bunny. But oh my god. Bunny. I'm coming. I'm coming. I see you very well. You may enter.
Lord Commander, if I may, I wish to speak with you before the Grand Melee.
Proceed.
How do you do it, my lord? How do you lead with such certainty, when so many of our countrymen will not hear of peace with the Dravanians? Some of them hate you almost as much as the dragons themselves. They decry you as a patricide in the streets. They even tried to kill you, for God's sakes. Yet still you march on, undaunted, where no archbishop dared to tread. What is your secret? Where do you find the strength?
For centuries, our nation has been punished for the sins of our forefathers. If our punishment is to end, I believe we must right the wrongs of antiquity and move forward as a nation united. Needless to say, my father did not share this opinion. He did not believe the people strong enough to bring about their own deliverance, trusting only in himself. Tyranny seemed to him the only solution. But I have faith in the people, Lord Amanalain. I have faith that they will weather this storm and overcome every trial we set before them. Many have fought and died to see this blight upon our nation's history cleansed, and I would not let their sacrifices be in vain. Though we invite reprisals, the risk is worth the reward.
I want to believe. I do. Lord Commander, through my careless orders, a pall has been cast over these proceedings, and I beg the opportunity to make amends. I, Amanalain de Forton, do hereby request leave to take part in the Grand Melee.
Who am I to deny such a heartfelt plea? We would be honored to have you join the fray, my lord.
You'll take charge of the Ishgardian forces.
For all my other responsibilities, I am still Lord Commander of the Temple Knights, and I would not soon yield this duty to another.
The esteemed Sir Emeric leading the Temple Knights and the Watch into battle along with my youngest. I could wish for no more.
Then you wish for too little, my lord. There is another who might yet join the fray. An indispensable ally to whom we owe much and more.
What? Am I really gonna? I don't. Right? Is this just between nations?
An adventurer beholden to none who nevertheless chose to champion our cause, who has shared in our suffering and in our glory, a warrior without equal, who I am privileged to call a friend. There is no one I would rather have fighting by my side. I ask this in full knowledge of your obligations, and will not think less of you should you refuse. But if your conscience will allow it, might you oblige me, my friend, one more time?
Like, get a choice? Cool.
Together we shall give the people a spectacle for the ages, a celebration to mark the dawning of a new era.
Alright, hold on, I need to go bathroom. I'll be right back.